Hey everyone, this is Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon, FBA, and e-commerce podcast. I know you're probably thinking if you're looking at this on YouTube, there's a problem. There kind of is, but we're going to have half the podcast in video and half just audio. So just bear with us. I'm in some 9th century building, and they didn't make Wi-Fi that great back then. Anyways, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how talk about getting started on Amazon and what you should know, and find out easy fixes that sellers can make to help increase their margin, how to basically double your income just by looking internationally, and the importance of conversion rate and split testing. All right, guys, welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm.
Okay, like I said, we're talking about getting started on Amazon and what you should know. Our guest today has been an e-commerce business owner for over 12 years, the past 7 of which he has specialized in managing a multi-million-dollar Amazon brand. With a background as an attorney, he brings a legal perspective to his business acumen. And we'll be welcoming Brandon Fuhrmann just in a second. We're going to be talking to, or we got to connect to our sponsor. I think it's Julius Caesar or something like that, something from this castle.
If you're selling on Amazon in 2022, you know how important it is to stand out from your competition. Let Hono Worldwide lend a helping hand with your product innovation to outcompete your competition online. That's right. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the success of your newly innovative product while Hono handles all the work. Visit honoworldwide.com for more information. That's Honu, Honu, worldwide.com, or email savings@honuworldwide.com.
Okay, where's the boy wonder?
All right. Hello.
Hey,
You're looking great, Norm.
You like that? You like that? My little
Yeah.
icon should have a beard.
I think so. Yeah, we got to do that up for you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Cool Hand 99. We've got Rad. It's great to see everyone. This is our live episode. We hope you've been enjoying the pre-recorded episodes that we've been putting out while Norm's been traveling to France. But we will be back. We are back to these live episodes now. Friday might be a little different. Norm is also flying back from France on Friday, so we'll have to do something a little different then as well. But anyways,
we got a pre-record for that, I think.
Yeah, we do. But anyways, we'll be back to our regular schedule next week. Everything will be back to normal, back in the studio, I think, for at least a day. But anyways, smash those like buttons, give us a thumbs up. If you know anyone who is interested as an Amazon seller or interested in getting into the e-commerce world, tag them. Join our group, Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and e-commerce podcast or e-commerce collective. Let me see. We've got some big news for the Mexico trip. We've got the scholarship that is worth $3,500. If you're interested in joining us in Mexico with Amy Weiss, Tim Jordan, Norm Farrar, and me, of course, you can enter to win one of the scholarships we're giving away. So that's $3,500 off the trip. In total, the trip is usually $8,000, so you're getting $3,500 off. If you're interested, I'm going to be putting the link to the Google form. It's very easy. Just fill out the form. It's like your name, email, address, and then we're going to be announcing the winner on Monday. So let us know if you're excited for Mexico. If you want to come, fill up that comment section. Again, fill out that form that'll be posting, and we're going to give that a spin. There are other scholarship opportunities as well out there, which will let you know if you sign up for that form as well. So yeah, I think that's it for me. If you're just joining us, welcome Chuck and Simon. Good to see you as well. Happy Wednesday, Beardos. And yeah, let us know if you have any questions at all.
Hey guys,
the episode.
Can you tell me, is it just me or is Kelsey's Wi-Fi just not working? Like it's every third word I'm hearing. Can you just let us know in the chat box, or is that just...
I have a feeling it might be the person whose video can't connect. But anyways, we're going to try this episode. If this ends up not working, then we might have to cut this short and do a pre-recorded episode. But anyways, yeah, let us know the Wi-Fi situation in the comment sections, and we can get started. So Norm, I think that's your cue.
Okay, so we'll give it a shot. Working just fine. Okay, so it is me. Let's see. Kelsey is fine. All right, Isabella. Okay, you're right. I hate to admit it when Kelsey is right ever. But okay, comments over in the comment section, questions over in the comments section. If we crash and I can't get to it today, we're just going to post them in the Facebook group and we'll make sure we get them answered. But hopefully we can go through and everything will be cool with this podcast. Anyway, sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, enjoy the show, and welcome, Brandon.
Hi.
So, we've probably tried to, at least get you on here. I don't even know when. It's like we've had this for a year and a half and you haven't been on yet. And the day that you come on, everything goes to hell.
Well, look, we can't all be in 9th century castles, so.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, I want to learn a little bit more about, what you're doing, because not only I love it when a service provider also has his own brand. So let's talk about what you were doing, just before you started working with your service, AMZ Innovate.
Yeah, so I'm primarily a seller that's... Can you hear me? Yes. So I'm primarily a seller. That's what I do.
You know what? You just go.
Okay. All right. So I'm primarily a seller. That's what I do with like 95% of my time. So I sell kitchenware on Amazon, Amazon Europe, UK, Canada, all of that. And that's primarily what I do and spend most of my time doing. AMZ Innovate is a conference that we've started on the side. I'm in New York, and we run a meetup group called the Intermediate to Advanced Amazon Seller Meetup Group, which is like a free meetup group for anybody who wants to come down. We get sponsors to cover like the venue and pizza and beer and just have like a nice time with it. And the group grew so quickly, and we wanted to be able to do something a little more with that we created AMZ Innovate, which is a conference aimed at high-level sellers. We're actually... I'm announcing this for the first time, is going to be November 7th this year. We literally just signed the contract this morning. The website is up if anybody wants to buy tickets. We have an early bird special on it. But this is the 4th time we're doing it. This kind of just comes out of our meetup group. So like, I'm not a traditional service provider. It's kind of like a side gig that we do to like for the community here in New York, and just something that we love to do is just putting on this show that we think is like a really special show because it's run by sellers and not run by like service providers specifically. Yeah.
Right. And I've only heard like really incredible things about that show too. I've got to get down there and check out the show because there's a ton of people I know that have gone and just said it was one of the best events out there.
Yeah, we try to get a lot of sellers to speak. We kind of like cajole our friends to speaking, and hi Victor, I like that. But yeah, just trying to get our friends to come and speak, and to get actual sellers to speak, and not relying as much on service providers or people who speak at a lot of other events. Bringing our friends into it kind of makes the content really unique and interesting.
Okay, so we're going to do a plug at the end of this.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't usually do that. I don't usually say that, but because it's an event that always comes, with just... I hear so many people talking about it. I'll let you know, and even I'll post it for people if they want to get down to New York, sellers that to get down to New York and to attend. So, okay, let's get into this. And I'm sorry, I'm a little bit frazzled because of this like 1200 baud Wi-Fi that I'm on. Okay, so let's talk about some easy fixes that Amazon sellers can do. Where do you want to even start with this?
Yeah, so most of what I talk about is usually what I've been working on my business recently, or just things that I've noticed that I've seen sellers, not do correctly. So, everyone I know has been focused on like increasing margin. Just, Amazon's, add another 5% fees to their fees, their fulfillment fees, which have also gone up. It's, margins are as tight as can be. So I've been focusing on this myself, and something I just wanted to talk about a few things that I think really can help with margin compression here. Um, so first of all, I guess I would say is just as of I think this week, the small and light program just expanded to include $10 items instead of $8 items. So I would implore anyone who's even on the cusp of that to check that out and see if any of their products qualify. I know a lot of my products never formally qualified, but we realized that if we even lowered the cost, we'd actually save money. So it's kind of a win-win both for consumers and for us. They don't qualify as quote unquote prime, but they still ship quickly. So and we've seen some really good early success with that since that just went into effect like a couple days ago. One of our products we were able to lower from $12.99 to $9.99 to meet that program, and it's like I think it's going to cost us 70 cents more, but having a product $3 cheaper obviously is going to yield a lot more sales. So we think it's going to be win-win for that. So like that's the first thing I would say
So
is to
how do
check
you
out that
qualify
program.
for that?
The program, you have to sell the product now for under $10, and then they have
Mhm.
specific size and weight limits, and they'll tell you what the fulfillment fees are going to be. So if you check that out, you can see what you'll save versus what you're currently paying. So in some cases, if you have, like I was saying, if you have products that are on the bubble, whereas before if it was $8 and you were charging, I don't know, $11, you're not going to want to go down to 8. But if you're charging $11, $12, it might make sense to go down to 10, just to get that. Be part of that program.
Right. Yeah. They just they brought it down. Well, they moved it up because it used to
Yeah,
be $8, wasn't it?
yeah, exactly. This just went into effect last week, and we took about 4 or 5 ASINs and we were able to bring those over. And I would say also if you're selling primarily in Europe, the small and light program is actually a lot less restrictive, and there's a lot more products that actually qualify for that than even in the U.S. And the discounts are a lot more too. So it's definitely worth looking into that, especially if you haven't in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next.
Yeah, sure. So that's one thing I would do. The other thing I've really been focusing on is focusing on refunds, um, right? And refunds are really sneaky because I found they've been creeping up recently, and it's not just because my products have been getting worse. I think Amazon's been making it easier to refund your items if you're a customer, and people have really been, I guess, zoning in on that, and maybe with some of the economic issues that have been happening in our country recently, people have been returning more and not willing to accept a product that they're as in love with, I guess. And I just wanted to say that refunds are really kind of sneaky, where if you have a refund rate that's creeping up, it really really eats into margin because if you, let's say, make a $40 sale, or maybe you'll net $10, with a refund, you'll actually lose, maybe $10, $7, and then the item might not be resellable. So, that swing is maybe a $20, $30 swing from profitability versus not profitability. And that really, really can eat into your margins, right? Just from one return right there. And a product with a high return rate is always going to be struggling with profitability. So, we've been really focusing on downloading our return reports, trying to improve our products, doing anything we can to cut down returns, having them contact us first, trying to even just refund here or there, trying to keep some spare pieces on hand. Really anything we can do because it really does add up and eats into your margin quite a bit. Um,
Yeah, one
no,
of
go
the
ahead.
other things I was going to say, again, if I'm breaking up, let me know because I'm going to let
No,
you do
I
most of
hear
the
you fine.
talking
Yeah.
today. Okay, but another thing is like free money. There's lots of
Yes.
services out there, or you can go and do it yourself. But some people, I don't think this makes a lot of sense, but some people say, well, if it's going to cost me 15% or 20%, why should I do it? Well, because you get back 80%. I mean, you can go in. I think Helium's still got their. You can go in there every day of the week and submit, but some of the services out there just have a better rapport, I guess, or
Yeah.
better know-how. So that's another way of look, if you're getting hit with returns, you better get some of that money back. That's free. It's out there for you.
Absolutely. And a great example. So something I would do is try to get some of those returns sent to me, especially early on when I'm launching new products, just so I can see the condition they're being returned in. Because a lot of times you can see, uh, like, they're coming back the same way, and you know where the mistakes are, where the problems are, and that
Yeah.
might not necessarily come through in a report. But one time we got one of our products was like a $30 or $40 product, and instead of returning our product, we got like a $300 coffee maker. Uh, so we wrote to Amazon about it. We got the money back for that, and my wife still uses that coffee maker to this day, and it's been about 6 years now.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, you can get that money back, and a lot of times those returns are fraudulent too. So, but yeah, that's a good example I
Oh,
like to give.
that's crazy. And one of the other, and now this doesn't have to do with a lot of margin, but what it has to do is reviews. And one of the areas that we like to control, if any of the product is coming back, that Amazon is not allowed to, restock it, re-put it, like
Yeah,
re-enter it into their inventory. We've had, and I've seen a lot of clients, their inventory, like they say that they want to bring it, like they say they don't restock, they want it to be destroyed. Somehow it still goes into the system, and there's their 1-star review. And a lot of the times I've seen 1-star reviews come up because it's product that was resent. It
absolutely.
just came in,
Yeah.
and it says it right in the review. So we have it all come back to our facility, and then we can repackage it or we can destroy it. I don't let Amazon touch anything, but just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, no, that's really great too. Yeah, for sure. It's a constant battle with that stuff. I mean, I sell kitchenware, so sometimes people complain about how our it comes with food on it already, and then Amazon sends me a policy warning. I'm like, we're sending these case pack from China, like, this is you, this isn't me.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Yeah,
so let's talk about that. You
yeah.
get these complaints, or you get a negative review, which is going to hurt your profit one way or the other. How do you handle that?
A lot of times, if it's just a complaint to us, we'll just automatically refund them the customer. We try to provide really good customer service, even if we're not at fault, and we'll just kind of deal with
Yeah.
that. If it's a review, we just kind of usually leave it there unless it's like a product that we're just launching. A lot of our products have thousands or tens of thousands of reviews at this point, and I don't really care about a singular review, especially if they didn't reach out to us directly. It's kind of hard to find them. So I kind of, a lot of sellers get really crazy about that stuff, but unless it's like on the front page or something, I try not to like get too stressed out about that.
If you had one thing you could tell the new sellers to
Yeah.
help them increase their profitability, what would that be?
Um, so, we've talked about refunds, we've talked about the small and light
Yeah.
program. I would say the other things I would do is definitely be price testing. I don't think a lot of sellers are doing this enough, or if they do, they don't wait long enough to see if it's going to stick. And especially recently with all of the talk of inflation, I think customers are kind of expecting it, and expecting prices to be kind of a little all over the map, and it's maybe a better time to do it than in the past. Um, and I think what a lot of sellers do is they'll change the price and then like leave it for like a day and then get scared and change it back. But I think you really need to stick with it for like a week or more, to see if that's going to stick. And I kind of view Amazon as running like thousands of different split tests, and I think sometimes maybe you'll lose a couple early ones, and then you'll eventually get that back. But like, I think it's important to just always be price testing and seeing if you can charge more for it, even if your competitors aren't. I think sometimes too we kind of look at our competitors and say like, okay, they're only charging $30. I can't possibly charge 32, but a lot of times you can. And not to really limit yourself into like these boxes that you put yourself in about what your product should or shouldn't cost. Right. And I think that's another important piece there too.
Yeah, I can't agree more. So many people try to come out at the lowest dollar amount, and they're
Right.
missing out on the profits. I've talked to people where you could almost double their price, and
Right.
they would be selling. But you get the argument, oh, well, I don't get enough traffic. Well, if you get 1/3 less traffic and you're doubling your price, you're still making more money.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I have no problems. I talk about this knife case study here where it came out at $49. We saw it, we repackaged it, we brought it back out to 99 to 124. Then we saw a wooden package, we rehammered the knife and started to sell it at 224. We didn't get tons of traffic for the 224 one, but we still sold this knife. It cost us $16. But on the other one, when we went from 49, we went up in $10 increments. We didn't lose traffic. Like
Right.
that $99 knife is still selling extremely well because people see it as a high perceived value rather than dealing with the same knife that the Chinese have down there at $29 to $34.
Exactly. And knives are a great example of a product too with like really good price variance where the prices are kind of all over the map. So you can kind of set your price and position your product as you want. And I know some people are in markets where it's not necessarily as easy because everything's within like $1 or so, but there's definitely room to always position yourself as premium. And I think when you do that with the pricing, you need to make sure your listing goes along with it to make sure your pictures are on point. And the listing has to look beautiful if you want to justify that.
Yeah, if you have a really cheap product and your listing is really beautiful, your reviews will suck. If you've got a really cheap product, or sorry, if you've got a really cheap listing and you've got a great product, you'll never sell. So you've
Hmm.
got to kind of find that in between, that sliding scale where you want to be. And for me, you got to figure out where you want to position yourself. Do you want to be at the bottom, moving big dollars? Do you want to compete kind of in the middle? Spend some money more on branding or becoming a bigger brand, more on packaging, or do you want to go out at the top? And if so, how do you get your traffic? So how do you drive that external traffic? What's your demographic? Who are your audience? But it's all there. And there's always three levels. Like if you take a look at the searches, you'll always see, I use Dead Sea Mud, for an example, where you can go right now, type in Dead Sea Mud, and you'll see it's a $6-7 8-ounce jar, right up to about I think it's 14 something. The next level that you'll see runs up to 24 to 49. The highest level that I see there is 80 or 70 something to 95. And the $95 Dead Sea Mud is only 3.5 ounces.
Wow.
It's crazy. Like everybody else
Yeah.
is 8 to 16.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. For sure. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just remind me of one more thing I would also suggest too for margin too is to track Amazon's pricing tiers and making sure that you are within those limits because any margin in any direction can yield like an extra $2 or $3 to Amazon and FBA fees that like you don't need to pay if you just slightly change the proportions of your
Oh,
product.
yeah.
Right. And a lot of sellers don't look too closely enough at this, where it's, some of our products are packed, within an inch of their lives, and we pay extra money for packaging just to make sure that it's not considered oversized or large standard or something like that. Because those fees are, those fees are more than the actual cost of the product itself.
That is so critical. And
Yeah.
like you were just talking about the sizing of the package. I mean, half an inch here or there
Half an inch.
could
Yeah.
could make or break your profit.
Yeah, exactly. And there's conversations I'm constantly having with the factory when we're looking at new products. And I'm like, can we bring this down by 20 grams? Right? Like, what can we do to make this 20 grams less? Can we bring this a quarter inch in more or something like that? Because, if we do that, we can save $1.73 on the fulfillment fee, right? Like,
Yeah.
things like that. Like, those are constant battles. And I don't think sellers look at that enough when they're planning their products. And I think there's also a lot of room in markets when you do that because you can make more money, you can have more advertising. There's things you can do when you have that margin built in just from having your product meet that specification.
Sorry. Beyond the Wi-Fi, I'm sneezing now. So nobody told me, Paris, would have a ton of pollen. I don't have allergies, and everybody here is sneezing and runny noses, and oh my gosh. But it is beautiful. I wouldn't trade it.
Yeah, I feel for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah, yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, I mean, 9th century castle in Paris, rainy day in Long Island. It's about the same. Yeah. Sorry for the sneezing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But one of the other things you can check out, like when you're talking about the sizing of the packaging, Afalabi is my partner, and he was talking about the other day, just making sure you configure your pallet properly for
hmm
your container. Like containers are still expensive. And if you can squeeze on another 100 units or 200 units just by, you
Yeah.
configuring your pallet properly, it's well worth it. I mean, sometimes you could probably get a full pallet, just by reconfiguring that many units onto a
Abs-
ship.
yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing we've been doing too is not just relying on the factory's case packs that they recommend, but asking if we can use bigger boxes and getting an extra, let's say, 10 units in a box or something, which also helps in that regard too, and also helps. Even with 3PL fees, when you send it to a 3PL first, right? A lot of times you're paying for things per box. So if you can get them to fit an extra 10 units in a box or something, you're going to save money on 3PL fees. You're going to save money on shipping costs in the container, all of that.
So on launch strategy right now, you've got a new product.
Yep.
You make sure you got a great looking listing. You've tested out your price. The packaging's all great. What are you doing now for launch strategy?
That is a great question. It's really tough now with Amazon's new terms of service in terms of what you can and can't do with giveaways, and it's something that I'm still kind of feeling out myself. So like,
Yep.
I can't say that everything what I'm going to say is like, the advice that I would give anyone specifically because I haven't really run through it yet all that much. But for me, I sell in a lot of different markets. And with that, we have access to the Vine program, which allows you to pay Amazon a decent amount of money in order to get reviews. And in the US, it doesn't seem to necessarily work all that well with low price products. But because I sell in all these other marketplaces, I've actually started giving away products in Europe first. And I'm guessing it probably works the same in Canada, but I can't vouch for it. But you can give away 30 products to the Vine program for reviews. So what I've been doing is sending in air shipping, and this is in mid process, but air shipping to the UK, giving away those products, getting those early reviews first before the product even hits the United States. So that way I can launch with 30, 60, 90 reviews, however many I can get right away. Right. And then once the product hits here, it's already pre-qualified with those reviews that I wouldn't be able to get through the Vine program, or even if I would have to wait months for it. Um, and I would have those reviews ready to go, and then launch here with maybe a lower price, high PPC, really trying to push it and try to build sales that way. But because it's already got the verification via those reviews, hopefully the point is that we can start making some early sales right away, targeting some lower long tail keywords, not necessarily anything top, but targeting things that have lesser search volume and trying to build up that search volume as we move forward. That's my plan, at least.
Yeah, yeah. I got to, I've heard. I stopped using lightning deals.
Yeah.
I stopped, and then I've had a couple of people on recently saying, "Oh no, I never cut it out. It's still great." Are you using lightning deals at all?
It's a good question. It's really hard. I've had a lot that have just failed. And I feel like they've
Yeah,
reformulated how they do them, where I used to get like, hundreds of units sold a lot of times and I could just run them constantly. Where now if I run them, I probably won't break even. What it does do is it definitely helps with ranking. So sometimes I'll give them away, do it as a loss, as almost like a giveaway, just trying to build traction on a listing. But like I don't do them for profit anymore, really. I'm hoping that Prime Day will be different this year because I have a bunch scheduled for that. But generally speaking, they just don't seem to really have the juice they used to.
yeah. It's funny because I've talked to a few people and they say, "Oh yeah, when you're launching, you've got to do these lightning deals." Or what's the other one? Driving traffic over to, and I used to do this all the time, but the social media coupons that
Yes.
yeah. Okay. When was the last time? I'm just curious. When was the last time you drove traffic over to a social media coupon?
It's been a long time. It's
Yeah,
honestly,
but I used to do it all the time. But it's just,
yeah,
there's all these other things that happened. You just forget about it.
yeah.
But
What has been working is a Prime exclusive discount to make sure you get the lowest price in 30-day badging. That really seems to work well for me, um, for sure, in building traffic and building sales.
right.
But you got to
Yeah,
make sure you get
that's
that.
a
You got
really
to make
good
sure
point.
you got to make sure you get that badging that says lowest price in 30 days. And it sometimes comes, it sometimes doesn't. It sometimes lasts for more than 30 days. It sometimes doesn't. But for me, that's been the best way to boost sales to a listing that hasn't been performing well.
Do you use any of Amazon's internal tools?
Like which tools? I mean, I have
Listing
like a million at this point.
optimization tool, manage product documents tool,
Yeah,
growth.
yeah, yeah, I would say so. The listing management tool stuff. I mean, if it tells me I'm missing fields, things like that. If it's telling me that I'm missing, search terms or that whatever it's saying, I'm kind of trusting them to tell me
Yeah.
what they're focusing on and relying on, right? So if they're telling me I'm missing a field, then I'm gonna, sure as heck make sure that like I've got that filled out because they're finding that important for some reason, right? Things like that for sure. Some of their other tool like the growth opportunities tools, not necessarily as much, but I'll definitely check it out. The stuff in the brand analytics is pretty amazing, especially the new with the search analytics tool. I think I don't remember what it's called, but the new tool they just came out with is pretty incredible, for sure.
Yes. Oh, what's it called? Something performance. It's
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
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 That's the tool. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So that's definitely something. And if you have brand analytics, I think there's like a link at the top that says try search analytics dashboard.
You
It's
got
like
it.
in green
That's
at the
it.
top. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a pretty incredible tool.
Okay. So that's what it was. Uh, let me see. To the listeners, if you've got anything that you're using to launch products, let us know. If you've got something to rank, let us know. I'm really curious if you've got any interesting ways that we might not have brought up today to hear what you're doing to gain some rank, to launch in rank.
Yeah,
Now the other thing, and I'm hoping you can hear me. But
yeah,
you
I
know
can hear
what?
you. Yeah,
It's so weird when you're not sure people are hearing you, right? And you're not sure if it's
you're just talking
pinging,
to
and
a void. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But but anyway, um, we've got an incredible giveaway today. And there's two. One, Kelsey's going to be talking about the $3,500 one, and I want to make sure everybody hears about it. So he'll do it because I'm probably going to blank out at that time. And then Brendan, you've got a giveaway too.
yes, yeah. We're gonna give away a ticket to our event, which is pretty special. Might be the
That's
first person
great.
attending. Yeah, we just put it live, so yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, like when I was looking at just before I got on, I saw that the website might not even be up yet. Like it's just
It's
getting up,
just
right?
up. We literally signed the contract yesterday. The website went up this morning just in time for this podcast.
Oh,
Yeah, it's very exciting. You know, in New York City, it's hard to get space, so it took us a little while to get this everything, all the things dotted on the contract. But yeah, it's going to be pretty incredible where it's going to be and all of that. So yeah, it's just live as of right now.
well, that's fantastic. See, I think I'm lost here.
I
No,
hear
no,
you.
you're good.
Yep, we hear you.
So,
Oh,
to
you do?
enter,
Yep.
yeah,
Oh, that's weird. My whole screen just went blank. Sorry, guys. Okay, so to enter, it's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. And if you want a second entry, just tag two people. So I promise if you're a first time listener, our podcasts are not usually like that. I promise, or like this, I promise. I just, that my screen is acting wonky. So all of a sudden everything goes blank. And, I swear a little. I hope you guys don't hear me. But anyways, so I'm just gonna talk like you're hearing me all the time. Okay, Kelsey, how about on your side?
Yes. So if you are interested in Brandon's giveaway, that's a free ticket to the AMZ Innovate event happening on November 7th. Comment hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, just like CoolHand99 is doing, and our Facebook user, and you'll be entered in today's draw. We're going to be announcing the winner at the end of today's episode. And then we've got a very special giveaway as well from Lunch with Norm. This is happening for over the course of the week. We are going to give away one ticket to the Mexico sourcing trip that's happening in June. It's going to be $3,500 off. So usually these tickets are about $8,000. We've teamed up with the Mexico sourcing trip, and we've got them to do a scholarship for $3,500 with us. So we've got one of those scholarships for the Lunch with Norm available. So sign up using that Google form that I posted in the comments. And we're going to announce the winner on Monday. So it's very easy form, name, email, and then select the scholarship, and you're good to go. So yeah, $3,500 off. You get a mastermind, a trade show. You're going to be in Mexico City, Cancun. It's going to be an awesome trip. I'm going to be there. Norm's going to be there. Tim Jordan, Amy Weiss, a whole bunch of other speakers like Carlos Alvarez. So we're going to throw it over to a sponsor, and then we'll continue with the rest of the show. So just give me a second, and here we go.
A big thank you to our sponsor,
So
Startup Club,
again,
largest
it looks
club
like my
in
screen is
Clubhouse
blank,
with over
but if you guys can hear me,
790,000 members and growing. They're one of the world's largest communities supporting the startup ecosystem, from founders to those wishing to work for a startup and everything in between. You can find them at www.startup.club for blogs, recordings, and a calendar of upcoming shows, and on the Clubhouse app. Just search Startup Club for daily shows 24/7. You can also now listen to their show, the Serial Entrepreneur Club podcast, on Apple and Spotify too. Stop by to connect, learn, and grow together.
Did you hear that, Brandon?
Yes, I did.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So everything went blank again. Anyways, you probably didn't answer the question, because when I asked you this question and I looked up and I saw myself on there still. So how about we do this? I'll ask the question again. You mentioned about international sales and how you could double your sales by going internationally, sometimes with some headaches.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that? And should a new seller start looking overseas?
Yeah, sure. So, for me, I've always sold internationally pretty much almost since the beginning. It was a lot easier, 5 or 6 years ago to sell internationally. So I had a product that wasn't selling that amazing here in the United States. So I just kind of sent it to the UK to see what would happen, and it sold. So I've kind of always been selling there, and about 40% of my revenue actually comes from Europe and Canada. And I think that a lot of people are missing out on using this to kind of accelerate their flywheel, right? So some big benefits of selling international is, one, we're able to go and place larger orders with our suppliers. We get a little more clout, which really helps us in terms of pricing, just in terms of that. And two, we're able to deploy goods more as needed. So, for example, if sales pick up in the United States, we're sometimes able to say, all right, instead of sending 3,000 units to Europe, we're going to send 1,000 units to Europe and 2,000 to the United States just before completion of the order. So we're able to avoid out of stocks a lot easier, and also it's easy to just kind of add those countries on and start selling there. It's the same product. You're not really doing too much else. I mean, obviously it increases complexity quite a bit, but in terms of having products, you're selling the same products, so you kind of know the benefits of that. So yeah, I think there's a lot of really great reasons to sell over there. Of course, there's some downsides too, which I can talk about in a second here. I think, is Norm gone?
Yeah, I think so. So I'll just carry on. Until...
Yeah. I can talk about some of those negatives too. But some of those negatives are, the tax complexity can be really kind of a headache in terms of paying VAT. The margins are a little bit less, and Amazon fees are a little bit more. So like, there definitely are some headaches with selling over there, but if you have the ability, it's definitely something I would look to do. And also because if you're selling in let's say Europe, there's 5 to 7 marketplaces you're selling in. So suddenly you can 5 to 7x your number of listings just by selling over there, because every listing in every marketplace is different. But for me, if it were me, and I was just selling in the United States and I had a decent amount of traction on a couple products, I would probably just start by launching in the UK, and seeing what happens there. The tax system isn't so bad there, in terms of compliance and things like that, and it doesn't really increase your complexity that much, and could really have a big impact on your overall sales and profits.
Okay, great. Thank you, Brandon. We're going to go to some of the questions
Yes.
from the audience. I think Norm is here. We're just jump over here for a second. So from Claudia, Claudia is asking, what is your typical pricing strategy for a new product launch?
I think I answered that already, in terms of making sure I start with reviews and kind of keeping the price low to try to build traction. Right. So and maybe I'll add a coupon or a Prime exclusive discount on top of that. Right. Just to really make sure that everyone knows what a good deal it is.
Okay, great. And then we have one from Cool Hand 99. When launching a new product, if you create the listing before activating it, does it matter how long I take to activate the listing to still take advantage of the honeymoon period?
I think you want to make sure that the date to start selling is well in the future, because that's actually the date. If you have the Amazon dogs show up on the product page as it should be, that means that the listing is not officially activated yet, and you should be good on the honeymoon period. I would keep it there until you're about ready to launch, for sure.
Okay, great. So I think Norm is just kind of figuring out his his webcam. So sorry about this, Brandon.
Yeah, no
But
worries.
anyways, let's talk about your event.
Yeah.
It's happening November 7th. It's you
Wait,
just
sure.
announced.
One thing I did want to add, in terms of launching a new product, because we had just talked about that, was in terms of split testing, and something that I've been doing when verifying a new product, is using, there's Metrics, there's PickFu, some really good split testing tools out there. And what I've been doing is finding niches that I'm interested in, and looking on a lot of big box store sites, and trying to find products that aren't necessarily available on Amazon yet. Figuring that those big box stores have basically figured out what their customers want already, and then literally going in and split testing one of their products versus the top sellers on Amazon, and getting really surprising results. And sometimes I'll find products that people prefer, 2 to 1, over what's currently on Amazon. So if I know that already, I know not only which niche to source, but which products to source too. And I know that most people seem to prefer that product. So I'm really kind of setting myself up for success there, too, with that. And I just rip the images right off, like, Crate and Barrel or wherever, and try to do that. So that's definitely just another tip in terms of split testing I wanted to just kind of throw out there, and something I've been doing. Oh, I think I don't hear you. I think you're mute.
I know when we talk to Amazon sellers and we ask about split testing, a majority of them don't really
Yeah.
dive into split testing. I feel like there's some sort of hesitancy with that. Do you think there's any ways to kind of get around that hesitation, or what are those hurdles that are kind of stopping
Yeah,
people?
I think the hesitation is really just the overall cost of it, and they're just afraid to run those deals. And Metrics, for example, I know is pretty cheap. So for, like, I don't know, $100, $200, you can run a pretty, decent split test. So, like, I would start small, with that, and try to run tests where you're really picking images that you really are, really focused on, products that you think you really want to actually source, and not just doing it to do it. I think sometimes people are just kind of like hesitant to do it, and then kind of run something and they're not happy with the results, and then they're really sad about that money that they lost. But I think that, spending a couple $100 on a split test, 3 or 4 times, versus spending 10 grand on a product that's not going to work, is going to win every time, right? And thinking about it in that regard too was really pretty helpful.
Yeah, and I just want to add for those people hesitating, thinking that it might be just a learning curve to
Yeah.
use split testing. PickFu is so easy to use.
Yeah,
We don't have any
yeah.
affiliations, but
Yeah, they're all pretty easy to use. You can just, I'll just right click on the product images, click save as, put them all up there, right? And just hit like, run test, and then it runs, and I'll have the results within an hour, whatever, and I'll know the answer.
all right, awesome. So I just want to shout out, we have our Wheel of Kelsey happening. We're giving away a ticket to the AMZ Innovate happening November 7th. It's just been announced today. So pretty exciting. That's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. If you tag 2 people in the comment sections, you'll get an extra entry. This is in New York, right?
Yes, yeah, yeah, in Manhattan. Yeah,
Oh, beautiful.
yeah,
Okay, so do you want to talk about it a little bit? Norm
yeah,
was
yeah.
joining us,
Yeah,
but
for sure. Happy to talk
yeah.
about it. Yeah. So, like I said earlier, this conference came basically out of our meetup and our interest in having a really high level conference for high level sellers. And this isn't to deter newbies. I've always been of the impression that, getting high level content is really hard attending at any conference, and that even if you're just starting out, understanding where higher level sellers are coming from really can expedite what your thoughts and in your process, just by understanding those problems from like a little bit of a higher level, and also the ability to build your network with a lot of those sellers versus other people who are just starting out and talking to people who are 7, 8, 9 figure sellers. We've had several 9 figure sellers at our previous events. So yeah, so to me, it's just an amazing event. Last year was just incredible. And again, having a lot of sellers on the stage really talking about their processes, things that they're doing, as opposed to other people who are kind of more pitchy about their kinds of things. Um, so we really think it's a really great event, and we're really excited about it and proud of it. And yeah, I can't wait to have it again for sure. Um, yeah, it's gonna be really great.
Okay, and that's Amazon Innovate
Yep.
or AMZ
amzinnovate.co is the
Innovate.co.
website. Yes. And yeah, it's going to be on the 7th of November. And there should be, several, 500 people or so is what we're expecting at the event. So it should be a really great experience for anyone coming in to Manhattan for it.
Okay, awesome. So check it out. We've posted a couple links already, but it's amzinnovate.co. And if you enter right now, you can win a ticket to it. That's happening in Manhattan on November 7th. So hashtag Wheel Kelsey. Going back to the audience, let us know your experience with split testing. Has it worked for you? Are you hesitant to it? Put those in the comment sections. We'd love to hear it out. We can read some comments if you post them away. But we have one more question from the Facebook group coming in. Facebook users asking, is testing a bundle or multi-pack versus competitor with a single item offer a good market entry strategy?
That's not something I've really done as a market entry strategy, so I can't really say. I think a multi-pack actually I've actually done, and that can be. We had a product that we saw selling for, I don't know, $10, $15 for one, and we realized for basically $1.50 more we can sell two. So we've done that, and it's been relatively successful. Um, but like generally speaking, it's not something I've really dabbled with all that much. So I think every market is different too, and I think you can see if that's a product that people actually want two of, if people actually want the bundle of. Sometimes they don't really want it, and people want to kind of force the bundle to kind of differentiate. But I think if it's something that they're going to want, then like yeah, I guess it could be. Okay. I hope that was a good answer.
Oh, that's great. Okay, thank you everyone who's been entering. Norm, can you hear us? Are you good to go?
Yeah, it's back and forth again. So I'm just sitting back and letting you guys talk. And I don't know about you, Brandon, but I think there should be a maybe a podcast coming out, Snack with Kelsey. I don't know. Maybe that's what we can do next. But no, I think it's probably best this way. I don't have a lot. I know I'm like my screen is just blanking out. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be around for a minute or 30 seconds. But yeah, you guys just carry on.
Okay, so I think we're about wrapped up now. We're just getting some last minute entries from the Wheel of Kelsey. So we'll have it for maybe a minute or two left. Okay, Brandon, is there anything else? What's the best way that people can contact you if they have any questions about AMZ Innovator? Anything else?
Yeah, sure. They can find me on, I mean, I'm kind of on every social media channel ever. So you can contact me through any of those. Also the Amazon, if anyone's in New York, the Intermediate Advanced Meetup group is going to be meeting on June 18th, and you can contact me through there and sign up. That's just a free event. We're bringing in people to just, to speak to our group. So anyone's welcome to come to that. And it should be a pretty good one there too. You can meet me there. But yeah, I'm pretty available.
All
I don't
right,
know if you guys
awesome.
can hear me, but I do want to say one thing. And I don't know if you guys got to it or not, but when you start talking about your meetup group and it's free,
Hmm.
that's so important. If you're an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, breaking into Amazon, just to be able to rub shoulders and see, share your successes or your agonies. You maybe got that
Yep.
nasty email from Amazon, you don't know how to handle it, but just being able to have and build a network of really solid peers and friends. I don't know, I go to a lot of events, and I can't tell you how many people that I've met there have now become really just great friends. And
Yep.
regardless if I'm going into an Amazon play, I might be going to a Walmart play or a Chewy play or a Shopify play. I've got these people that are in my network that I know I can bounce ideas off of. It's so important, and especially these really great. Like, while you were talking, and while I was kind of back knocked out, I went over to your amzinnovate.co site. You got some great speakers too. So
Yeah,
it's
we've
going to
had some
be,
amazing
it's going
speakers.
to
Yeah.
be, yeah. So, anyways, I just want to say, if you're on the fence about going out to any event, well, you can't give up free. So if you're in New York, just attend these things. I know Carlos Alvarez down in Miami, he does these events all the time, all these meetups all the time, and it's free knowledge, and you're
Yep.
you're you're rubbing shoulders with some of the best in the industry. And then, for paid events, if you can afford it, I I can't tell you how much you'll learn, and you'll get 10 times out of it. I don't have an affiliate fee. We don't have affiliate fees for events. So I'm just saying this to get you out there to become better Amazon sellers.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't agree more. And the meetup is 100% free. There's no like pitching upsells, anything like that. It's really just to build the community here in New York, right? It's not like we're sitting here trying to make money on it. We don't make a dime on it. It's just to build community in New York. And this is the first one we've had basically since COVID. So it's been the first one
Oh,
in 2 years. But before that, we were getting hundreds of people coming out to them every 6 or 8 weeks or so when we would have them. And it was just amazing for me to see from when we started to where we ended it, that people coming up to me saying like, I owe my life to these meetups because I never sold on Amazon before, and now I'm a multi-million dollar seller, and now I'm I've got all these friends that I've met at these meetups, right, and just all of these. It just kind of warms my heart to see how much people have gotten out of it, just from building the community here in New York. Yeah, so it's pretty incredible. And then the conference is just an extension of that. With a free meetup that we don't charge any money for, we're kind of limited in what we can do. But the conference was a way for us to
right.
put on like a little more of a grander event out of that.
Yeah. So check it out. If you don't get Wheel of Kelsey, check out that event. Check out the meetup if you're in New York or in the area.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to let Kelsey handle it all. I know, Brendan, you've not seen the Wheel of Kelsey.
I don't think I have. No.
Okay. Well, stand by.
All right, so I know Brandon. I think if you've seen it, you would remember it, but we'll give you a show in just a second.
Okay.
We'll throw it over to a sponsor, and then yeah, we'll get to the Wheel of Kelsey.
As you know, at Lunch with Norm, bigger is always better. Bigger business, bigger profits, and yes, bigger lunches. Z wants to make sure that your business and profits are bigger by taking you and your business international. They are a one-stop importer of record shop, including compliance and logistics services. They focus on all the elements involved in a smooth first-time custom clearance so that you can focus on what you're good at, selling. Click on the screen now or follow the link in the description box below and get 50% off your first shipment today.
All right, so it's time for the Wheel of Kelsey. Everyone sit back, relax, and enjoy the wheel.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right, so thank you everyone who entered today's Wheel of Kelsey. If you are the winner, please email me k@lunchwithnorm.com and we'll get you your ticket. So I'm going to shuffle these names up and give it a spin. We do this every single podcast, a special giveaway called this Wheel of Kelsey. And it looks like the winner is Michael E.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Michael. I believe I have all your contact information too. So that's fantastic. That'll be nice and easy to get you that information. And thanks again, Brandon. I know this has been quite the episode, so we appreciate you sticking around with us. Next time, we'll just make sure that Norm stays away from any castles. And yeah. So thank you so much. Norm, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, hopefully you can hear me. But once again, Brandon, thanks a lot. We're going to treat you a lot better next time.
Okay.
We'll make sure we're connected. Anyways, I really appreciate it. And also, we met. That's where we met.
Yeah.
I think it was Accelerate is the first time we met in New York. I think so. But, since then, friends,
Yeah.
we've known each other for years. So this is just another person that I got to meet by going to an event. So anyways,
Absolutely.
thank you. I'm sorry about this. I can't tell you how much. I apologize. But anyways, next time, I guarantee you, I'll be back in my podcast booth.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you so much, Brandon, and
Yep.
we'll see you around.
It's been great being here. Thanks for having me.
All right, so I'll take the reins from here, Norm. You can just sit back and enjoy that castle, maybe some caviar. All right, so I'm loving all these comments too. Cooking with Kelsey, we've got coffee with Kelsey, podcast producer turned host. We love to see it. Thank you, everyone. It's been fun. So the next couple of weeks are a little difficult with these traveling shows. That's why we are trying the pre-recorded episodes. So I know Friday we have Norm traveling again on a plane, so that might be a little difficult, but we have a pre-recorded episode for that. So we'll try to make sure those episodes are nice and clear, that it's a pre-recorded episode so you can see that and that this is pre-recorded. But we're going to try our best to answer all the questions. I actually am there live looking through the comments, hanging out with you guys too. So it's still lots of fun. So definitely still recommend tuning in for those episodes. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining us. If you're not part of our Facebook community, go over there, join. That's Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce collective. That's where all the fun happens. We've got great giveaways. We've got giveaways from Jungle Scouts. We've got coupon codes available for all the members. Check out Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and e-commerce collective. Also, we've got our Mexico sourcing trip. That's $3,500 off for one person. We're doing this contest for the next week. We're announcing the winner on Monday. If you are interested, I'm going to copy this right now. All you have to do to get $3,500 off your Mexico trip for one lucky person is fill out this Google form that I'm posting in the comment sections right now. So check it out. You get to hang out in Mexico, in Cancun and Mexico City. It's going to be a lot of fun. But anyways, thank you for listening. And thank you everyone for the comments. Michael, great show. Thank you, Simon. Thank you again, Claudia. It's nice to see you. And we hope you enjoy and have a great rest of the day. We appreciate you and we'll see you around. So once again, thank you everyone. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Lunch with Norm.